seven seas. I've been up on the top and down on my knees. When I think of where I've been and where I've yet to go, there is no other place I would rather be than at the inaugural MoMonday Waterloo show with you. Ladies and gentlemen, I know all of you are on your own journeys, and I too am a traveler. And it is my distinct honor and privilege over the next 17 hours to share with you some of the things, that's what he told me, some of the things that I have experienced on my journey of life, but also of MoMondays. Tonight is my 15th MoMonday stage that I've spoken on, and as Gord alluded to, I hosted 25 consecutive shows in Guelph. And over that period of time, I've heard over 200 speakers. I've been in audiences in MoMondays alone with well over 2,000 people. And there's one common element that binds us all, and it's not being on our cell phones when we're at events. It is the core and our shared humanity. Because I think about being born, the youngest of 4 by 15 years, rural Ottawa. My father crushed by an elevator when I was 3 years old. I grew up with a disabled dad, which I loved and hated because I was bullied as a child, and during my youth I developed a stutter. And when it came time to university, I decided I was going to go as far away as possible. And I moved to Guelph for university because I thought I could run away from my problems. I thought I could run away from who I am. But the problems only persisted. Shortly after getting married in 2004, my father-in-law, at the age of 52, was diagnosed with cancer and subsequently passed away. A year later, my mom, while traveling in Ireland, had a massive heart attack and died instantly. My son was born, and then our marriage fell apart. And then my dad was diagnosed with cancer. My ex-mother-in-law sued me for $150,000. I was accused of sexual assault. I was publicly shamed. My father passed away. I was in a car accident that almost took my life by inches. And that, ladies and gentlemen, only brings us to 2009. Because I believe that the universe will give us the signs whether we're prepared for them or not, and it's up to us whether we look at them. The silent hand of the universe will become the silent shove of the universe, which becomes the silent punch of the universe, which eventually becomes the silent kick of the universe, and if you're not paying attention, it's the silent sledgehammer over the head. Because after 2010, I dove into self-help books. I signed up for every possible motivational course there could have imagined because I thought that I could positive talk my way through everything. And it worked for a while. It worked for a while when I dropped my head and I focused. But then eventually, the Jenga block of life came crumbling down in 2013. Because it wasn't good enough to be detained by U.S. Customs in Seattle for 3 hours and threatened to be deported. I then had to go and smash my head off of concrete, running upstairs, losing my footing. It left me with severe post-concussion syndrome, which I still deal with today. But again, I did the same thing. I tried to hide myself. I signed up for Think and Grow Rich with Bob Proctor. I signed up for Tony Robbins courses. I signed up for all of that because they promised me the silver bullet. They said that if I write down my goals and my affirmations over and over and over again, that it's going to work, it's going to make me different. Well, it did for a short period of time. I decided to release my third book. My third book became an instant international best-selling book. And it was at that moment that I realized it's all smoke and mirrors. Nothing is real. Everything is made up, and it's all based on illusion. The international best-selling author title was bullshit. It means nothing. I sold maybe 30 copies, and I got to call myself an international best-selling author. It was all about title. And I learned in that moment in 2015 the difference between ego and authenticity. And all through time, even Shakespeare said it, to thine own self be true. Every philosopher all the way through history has been on that journey of finding out who they are, finding out how do they fit in this greater picture of the universe. And I don't care who you are, or what course you attend, or what book you read. If it is not who you truly are at your core, you're going to stumble and fall. And how do I know that? After my book was released and I knew about the illusion, but I still worked with it anyway. And I still went on a speaking tour. And that speaking tour lasted for 3 months. And then I threw my back out. And my business partner, my MoMonday co-host in Guelph, after 3 weeks, she said to me, Kevin, if you don't go to the doctor, I'm going to come and drag you to emergency myself. You have a choice. So I went to my doctor. And within 24 hours, I was diagnosed with cancer. And I remember in that moment looking up to the heavens above and saying, I get it. I get it. Gone was my ego. It took all of those things that I'd experienced over the previous 10 years to stop and listen. To listen to the universe, to listen to the signs, and I don't care whether you call it God or nature or universe or divine or Buddha or Hindu, we all drink from the same aquifer. And as soon as I got out of my way, my own way, life started to get so much easier. And I learned the valuable lesson of compassion, compassion for self, but compassion for other people. We just had another shooting in Toronto this morning. And you can shake your head as it's horrible, I agree. But we as a society have failed all of us, because it's one thing to be compassionate for the people who have died and the families that have lost someone. But can you be compassionate about the person who pulled the trigger? Can you be compassionate about the struggles that they're facing in the moment that they're in, that they would actually do that? Or that they would drive a van into a crowded street? My heart breaks for those people because they're hurting and they need us. Authenticity. Being yourself. Being who you were created to be in the first place. We are all put on this earth to learn a lesson, and until we learn that lesson, we are going to repeat the same mistakes over and over again. All of the things that I listed, that's just pages in my story. But the meaning and the message was the same, and it brought me to this moment. And that last important element, humility. We're all in this together. I'm not better than Gord. Gord's not better than me. We are equal. I don't care your skin color, your race, where you were born, how many zeros you have in your bank account. We are all the same. And that moment that I realized we're all the same and we're in this together is when I truly found the inspiration deep down to learn to love the life I was meant to lead. I am that little boy who had a stutter that was born and raised in a 700 square foot home, and I'm never going to forget that. And what I love about MoMondays is the evolution that happens with everybody's story. 25 shows, 2 years, 134 speakers, 1,300 guests. And from retired hands, we throw the torch to Gord and to Leah and to Dawn to carry the stage, the purpose, and the power of MoMondays. Because we all come to MoMondays searching for hope. That hope that tomorrow is going to be a little better than yesterday.